A very warm welcome to the Art Vlog, art lovers, and a happy new year to you. Um, it's the 1st of January 2024 as I record this, and one of my favorite things to do on this day is to get the diary out and look forward to the wonderful exhibitions that are being planned by galleries and curators in London, the southeast of England, and across the country. It's a wonderful time because you can look forward and picture the pleasure that we as art lovers are going to experience from visiting some of these exhibitions. The point of this video is to count down the top 10 exhibitions I'm most excited about in London in 2024. And there are many that have just missed the list, like John Singer Sargent at Tate Britain, which I'm still really excited about. But these are the top 10 for me. And before I start on the countdown, I just want to thank everybody who has subscribed to the Art Vlog in 2023. Anyone who's commented, I love reading your comments and responding to them. And anyone who's watched the videos. The whole point of the art vlog is that it celebrates the UK art scene and is sometimes a critical friend as well. And it's brilliant that the vlog has grown over 2023. Do keep subscribing and watching because there's some delights that are going to bring you in 2024. I'm also going to try and be more regular in my uploading, to try and do at least one a week on a Saturday morning so that you can look at, if you're thinking about going to an exhibition, you can check out the latest exhibitions. I'll also be uploading some additional vlogs on Wednesdays as well in the middle of the week. In terms of projects for this year, as well as covering the London art scene in depth and hoping to get out to more galleries outside of London because the UK art scene is so rich, I'm also hoping to be able to explore art in country houses, and I'll bring you a little bit more about that later in the year because that's a summer job. Anyway, come and join me as we count down from 10 to 1 in the top 10 exhibitions that I am licking my lips for as we head into 2024. In 10th place is the artist Zineb Sedira, whose show Dreams Have No Titles is coming to the Whitechapel Art Gallery from the 15th of February. I'm particularly interested in this show because it promises to be an immersive experience that we saw actually premiered at the Venice Biennale in the French Pavilion in 2022. As far as I'm aware, the gallery is going to be transformed into different sets which you pass through before watching a film which contains some of these sets. There's going to be film, sculpture, performance art, and also a really nice play on the nature of reality and the nature of art. So I'm really excited and thrilled that this show is coming to London. I didn't get to see it in Venice in 2022. So we can immerse ourselves in the world of this really interesting artist. Ninth place is an exhibition at the Serpentine Galleries in Hyde Park by American artist Barbara Kruger. This exhibition, which starts on the 1st of February, is a really important chance to see some of her text-based, often magazine-influenced work. She's an artist who manages, through her use of text, to convey the craziness and the contradictions of modern life. And this is the first exhibition of her work in the UK, or big exhibition, for 20 years. It's going to be really good. I haven't covered the Serpentine Gallery much this year, and I can't wait to get back there. There's also going to be a show I'm interested in later in the year by Judy Chicago, and which I'll certainly be covering on the vlog as well. But this Barbara Kruger show is number 9 in my list. I'm very excited to see it and to experience her work again, having not been immersed in her world for a long time. Number 8 is a show at the Barbican Gallery called Unravel, The Power and Politics of Textiles in Art. I, as an art lover, have begun to appreciate the power of textiles more and more. I love the Abercanovitz show, and you can check out my vlog on that. And indeed, Abercanovitz is one of the stellar names in this show, alongside well-known names like Tracy Emin, Louise Bourgeois, and Judy Chicago. But there's going to be 50 artists displaying works of textiles, and I think many of them I won't be aware of, won't have got to know, and maybe you won't as well. So I'm hoping we're gonna be seeing new artists, or artists that are not necessarily in the mainstream, and powerful new work as well. And one of the reasons I put this in the top 10 is because I think the Barbican Gallery does group shows particularly well. The nature of the gallery, with those little split up upstairs mini galleries, allows them to kind of show mini shows within a bigger show, and then explode downstairs, as they did with Alice Neal, into the bigger galleries. So I think this is really well suited to the Barbican space. I'm getting to love and know more about textiles in art, so this show excites me hugely. 7 sees an exhibition come to the Royal Academy called In the Eye of the Storm: Modernism in Ukraine, 1900 to 1930. Ukrainian culture exploded in this modernist period, not just in the visual arts, but also in literature and other art forms as well. And it's a period I've got a bit of a blind spot on when it comes to Ukrainian art. Um, Obviously, there are some names that I know, but many that I'm still really wanting to explore. The Royal Academy show, which starts on the 29th of June, is being made possible by a big loan from the National Art Museum of Ukraine and other galleries in Ukraine. And we have to ask ourselves, would this exhibition have come about if it wasn't for Vladimir Putin's illegal invasion and occupation of Ukraine? What I'm really hoping with this show is A, get to know so much more about Ukrainian artistic culture, and B, this is a celebration of Ukrainian culture and national identity, almost if an act of resistance, if you like, against the war, against the illegal occupation. So I'm really interested to see this show on multiple levels, and I think the Royal Academy are going to do it really well. In sixth place is a show by Anthony McCall, who is a artist who works very much with light. Produces some very iconic works, started in the 1970s, called Solid Light Works. And this exhibition, which is on from the 27th of June at Tate Modern, promises to be a really big exploration of his work. He was last shown large scale in the UK before COVID in 2018 at the Hepworth Wakefield, which I didn't get to, but heard good things about that show. And I'm just really excited because this is immersive art. It involves maths, it involves geometry specifically, and he kind of is the artist which has probably explored light more than any other in the modern world. And that's saying something, because lots of artists like Oliver Eliasson do explore light. I can't wait for this show. Those of you who follow the art vlog know I'm a bit of a sucker for immersive art, and so this is going to be a really special opportunity for to see Anthony McCall's work. Can't wait. Now we're getting into the top 5, and this is where it gets really exciting, although those previous 5 were exciting as well. In fifth place, I'm particularly excited to see the exhibition at the Courtauld Gallery by Frank Auerbach and his charcoal heads work. Now, I covered the astonishing late portraits by Auerbach, which on the art vlog this year, which he produced in COVID. These charcoal heads are produced from the other end of his career in the 1950s. They were drawings made of charcoal, not surprisingly, which took him massive amounts of time to produce. And the Courtauld is claiming that this is the first time that a large number of these works have been brought together in London in recent memory. The show's on from the 9th of February, so it's another one I'll be able to bring you quite soon. These intimate spaces upstairs in the Denise Coates Gallery would be great to see and remind us of where Auerbach came from as an artist in many ways. In fourth place is the Tate Modern blockbuster of the year, Music of the Mind, exploring the work of Yoko Ono. this show is on until sorry, this show starts on the 15th of February, and I'm really hoping that it establishes or confirms and consolidates Ono's position as a really important experimental artist of the 20th and 21st century. Too often, in my opinion, she's just dismissed as John Lennon, or worse, vilified as quote unquote the woman who split up the Beatles, when in fact she has been consistently pushing the boundaries of experimentation in art since the 1960s and continues to do so into the 21st century. Um, I have similar sort of doubts in some ways about the exhibition that I did with the Marina Abramovich show, in the sense that lots of Yoko Ono's work is performance based, it's hard to pin down. So, but I'm hopeful, Tate Modern's curation is often excellent, and so I'm hoping that this show will be able to capture the whole range of her work. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm going to go in intrigued, excited, unsure if it's going to match my expectations, and that's often a wonderful place to be when visiting an art exhibition. In third place is the third show in this list from Tate Modern, and it focuses on the German expressionists Kandinsky, Munter, and the Blue Rider. And it promises to bring together 130 works which have been lent by the Lenbach House in Munich. It's going to be a very special chance to see some of the highlights from pre Second World War European art. It's going to be a show close to my heart because I have an interest in German expressionism going back to my late teens, and I've visited many of the galleries in Germany to explore works by some of the artists who will no doubt be shown here. Um, this show is going to be special. I've got high hopes for it. Now, in 2024, the National Gallery is going to be celebrating its 200th birthday. For those of us who are art lovers in the UK, it is a very, very special place. It's one of the greatest collections of Western art in the world. And one of the highlights of this year is going to be a show, its first ever show actually, focusing on Van Gogh. It's called Poets and Lovers. It starts on the 14th of September, and it's going to bring together some Van Goghs that have never been seen in the UK before, along with obviously some from the UK, including the National Gallery's own collection. I'm very, very excited to immerse myself in Van Gogh's world. Some people may say he's overexposed in the UK. We had the portraits from the Courtauld gallery relatively recently, but in my opinion, you can never have too much of him. This is going to be an incredibly exciting show. He's one of the greatest modern or post-impressionist artists. There was a fantastic show in Paris on him last year, and I'm hoping that this matches that in terms of quality. And in first place is a show at the Royal Academy called Florence 1504, focusing on the work of Leonardo, Michelangelo, and Raphael. 1504 was a seminal year. Leonardo was working on the Mona Lisa. Michelangelo had finished his vast David, and Raphael was an up and coming artist. And if the Royal Academy can get this right, then it may well be like the fantastic Picasso show 1932, which managed to encapsulate 1 year at Tate Modern way back before COVID. I'm hoping that this show will absolutely bring the Renaissance to London. We have many, many Renaissance masterpieces in London. And I should say, by the way, there's a separate Michelangelo show, which I'm kind of cheekily squeezing in with this one at the British Museum. So it's going to hopefully be a year where we celebrate the Renaissance and immerse ourselves in the Renaissance fully. As I say, this show is going to be incredibly exciting. Hopefully, there'll be some great loans from overseas to match the work that we're more familiar with here in the UK. I'm sure you'll agree there is some really intriguing exhibitions in this roundup. I feel it's going to be a really great year in the art world, and I've really only scratched the surface. There were so many. I've had to and very hard over the last few days to work out what I'm most excited about. But there are so many just outside that top 10 that could turn out to be even better than ones I've mentioned. So do subscribe, hit that notification bell, and come along for the ride as we embrace the London art scene 2024.